What are Lambda functions in Python? In this video, we'll learn what Lambda functions are, how they work, and when to use them. It's a very simple concept in Python, but many beginners often get confused by it. So don't worry, I'll break it down step by step in the easiest way possible. So, what are Lambda functions in Python? Lambda functions in Python are small anonymous functions defined using the Lambda keyword. They work just like regular functions we use, but they are written in a shorter form. Lambda functions can take any number of arguments, but they can only have a single expression. That's why they're mostly used for short, throwaway tasks. Now you might ask, why do we call them anonymous functions? The reason is simple. Just like we give names to our normal functions, Lambda functions don't have a name by default. Yes, we can assign them to a variable and use them like that, but usually they are used without a name, especially inside higher-order functions. Now you may be wondering, what are higher-order functions? Well, they are functions that either take another function as an input or return a function as an output. It might sound a bit advanced right now, but it's an interesting topic. I can make a dedicated video where we talk about first-class functions, higher-order functions, and closures in Python. If you'd like to see that, just drop a comment below. Anyway, that's enough theory for now. Let's move on and understand Lambda functions with some practical examples. Let's say we have a normal function called multiply, where we simply multiply two numbers. As you can see, it's a regular function that works perfectly fine. Now, using a Lambda function, we can shorten this and write the same logic in just one line. We start with the word lambda, which is the keyword. Then we write x and y. Those are the arguments, followed by a colon and then x multiplied by y. And that's it, our Lambda function is ready to use. Here you'll notice we haven't given any name to this function. That's why it's called an anonymous function. But if we want, we can assign it to a variable. For example, I'll write a variable called multiply2 and assign this Lambda function to it. Now to use this function, we can simply write print, followed by multiply2, and inside the brackets, we pass two numbers as arguments. When we run this, it gives the correct result, just like the regular function. Also, you don't always have to assign a Lambda function to a variable. You can directly use it inside a print statement. For example, I can just write print, and inside it directly place the Lambda function with its arguments. When we run this, it still gives us the correct output. Also, you might have noticed that in our regular functions, we use the return keyword to send back the result. But in Lambda functions, we don't need to write return. It automatically returns the value of the expression. One of the most common places where Lambda functions are used is with built-in functions like map, filter, and sorted. These are higher-order functions, which means they take another function as input. And that's where Lambda comes in handy. Let me quickly explain each of them one by one with simple examples. We'll start with the map function. Let's say we have a list of numbers, and we want to double each value in that list and print a new list. Now, one way to do this is by using a simple for loop, just like this. But as you can see, even for such a small task, we're using multiple lines. It works perfectly, but when your goal is something simple, this can feel a bit unnecessary. That's where a map with Lambda helps. The map function takes two arguments. One is the function you want to apply, and the other is the list or any iterable you want to apply it to. So instead of writing a full function, we can use a Lambda function directly inside the map. We can write something like print, then map, and inside that, lambda x colon x times 2, followed by a comma, and then the list we're working with. Since the map returns a special object called a map object, we wrap it with the list function to get the final output. And when we run this, we get the same result, a new list with all values doubled. But this time, we did it all in just one line. Now let's talk about the filter function. Just like a map, a filter also takes two arguments, a function and an iterable. But instead of applying a function to every item, the filter is used to select items based on a condition. For example, imagine you have a list of numbers and you want to get only the even numbers from it. You could write a loop, check each number, and add the even ones to a new list. But again, that's multiple lines. With filter and lambda, you can do the same thing in just one line. We simply write filter, then inside it, lambda x colon x modulo 2 equals 0, comma, and the list. This means we're telling Python, only keep the numbers where the condition is true. And just like with a map, the filter also returns a special object, so we wrap it with the list function to see the result. When we run it, we get a new list that includes only the even numbers. Now let's look at the sorted function. As the name says, it's used to sort values in a list. By default, it sorts numbers in ascending order or strings in alphabetical order. And that's great for simple use cases. But what if we want to sort things based on a custom rule? For example, let's say we have a list of tuples, where each tuple has a name and a score. And we want to sort the list based on the scores, not the names. This is where Lambda with sorted becomes super useful. The sorted function has a special keyword called key, and we can pass a Lambda function to it to tell Python how we want to sort the data. So we write sorted, then the list, and then key equals lambda item colon item at index 1. That means we want to sort based on the second value in each tuple, which is the score. When we run this, we get the list sorted exactly how we want. And again, it's all done in just one line using Lambda. And that's it for Lambda functions in Python. I hope everything made sense and you were able to follow along easily. If you still have any doubts or questions, feel free to drop them in the comments section. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like it and share it with others. See you in the next video.